Did you read this?
Oh, that. You talking about this here?
Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't hear it. Oh, her daughter's going to sit here. Okay. Nobody.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Is somebody on it?
We are here today to honor Tamenund James Dickerson, a World War II United States Army Air Force Tuskegee Airmen flight officer from Wixom, Michigan. This is a solemn and important occasion, one we shall long remember with pride for the small part we are contributing today. VFW Auxiliary Chaplain Judy Schlada, you will ask the divine blessing.
Heavenly Father, we are gathered here to commemorate one of your servants who served our country. Because of his dedication to duty, we still enjoy the freedoms we inherited from our forefathers. Because he served well, we are proud to call him our own. We ask that, following his footsteps, we may continue in your service until your summons comes. Then, in the knowledge that we have striven to observe your counsels and precepts, may we be worthy to be united with them and with you forever. Amen.
Amen.
As we begin this ceremony, if you are able, please stand and join me in the presentation of colors by the VFW Department of Michigan, VFW Post 2269, and MVF Honor Guards, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Walled Lake Western Jr. Angie Hami. Captain of the Honor Guard, you will perform your duties.
Ladies and gentlemen, present arms. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the
I would now like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, Wixom City Manager, Steve Brown.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here today for the dedication of this World War II historic trail plaque honoring Tuskegee Airmen Flight Officer Tamenund James Dickerson for his service to our country in World War II and for recognizing him on the Wixom stop on the World War II historic trail. Others on this program are going to honor and recognize Flight Officer Dickerson in different ways. I'm going to focus on the background of how Michigan Wixom came to be part of the second stop on the World War II historic trail. I've been blessed to be a public servant in different ways for many years, going back to the 1990s. And one of the things that I like best about my job is doing larger scale projects that can really contribute to the community. These might be road projects that get measured in millions of dollars. It might be business attraction that get measured in hundreds of millions of dollars. But it's not often you get a chance to have a positive impact on your community with a unique special project like the one that we've come to honor today and to recognize today with this dedication ceremony. Wixom's journey onto the trail began with the South Oakland County Mayor's Association meeting, and that SOCMA group involves rotating responsibility for hosting meetings among the communities, among the member communities. And Royal Oak had their meeting, and they chose to have Russell Levine present at that meeting about the Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial. And Russell Levine is a member of the board of the Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial. I think he's here today. Russell, are you with us? There he is. So I had a chance to talk with Russell after the meeting, make a connection with him, and also to talk to the Farmington City Manager because they were the first community to participate in the historic trail. And I want to talk a little bit about that. Farmington's historic trail plaque is very interesting. It speaks of a story for their community where a Japanese Fugo bomb landed in their community back in the day. And if you're interested in that, I encourage you to visit the plaque in Farmington or even visit the World War II Legacy Memorial website to learn more about it. But anyway, I came away from that SOCMA meeting very excited about what the possibility of Wixom's participation in the trail would be like. And I searched out some key, most valuable player people in the community to participate with me. And these excellent people include the president of the Wixom Historical Society, Lori Dorchek. It includes President Marion Belair of the VFW Auxiliary, and it involves Adjutant Quartermaster of the Wixom VFW, Pam Young. They were key and critical to our work since that time. We started meeting and discussing and developing plans for what brings us here today, and can't really say enough about their participation, so I appreciate them. The other group that I want to make mention of quickly is our Wixom DPW, because we decided to use a boulder for our plaque, and that required a lot of assistance from the DPW to transport it, prepare it, and then get it placed here adjacent to our existing Veterans Memorial on Pontiac Trail. So thank you to the DPW for all their work. I also want to just thank, again, the Historical Society, the VFW Auxiliary, for making this day possible. And I want to single out particularly VFW Auxiliary for their funding of the plaque that we have today honoring Flight Officer Dickerson. So, and also just allowing Wixom to be the second community on the World War II historic trail. Now it's my honor to start introducing our other speakers here today. We're going to begin with Barry Walter, Adjutant Quartermaster of the Department of Michigan VFW, for his remarks. Mr. Walter.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Brown. I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Welburn of the Detroit chapter of Tuskegee Airmen and Mr. Matten of the World War II Legacy Memorial, and the extended Dickerson family members. Would you please acknowledge yourselves? Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to take part in this very important ceremony honoring Flight Officer Tamenund Dickerson. At the age of 17, young Tamenund made the decision to quit high school and enter service to his country at Tuskegee Institute. I wonder what Mom and Dad had to say about that. Did he have dreams of saving World War II from the air. What went into his decision to be a flight officer at the age of 17? But he did it. In 1943, he went to Tuskegee Institute. In 1944, he graduated from Tuskegee as an Army Air Corps flight officer, one of only 944 men to do so between 1942 and 1946. His service period as a member of the 99th Flight Squadron was a time of great change in the U.S. military. The contributions of he and his fellow members cannot be understated. I believe that at the time of his untimely death in 1953, our country did not yet know how to handle the changes that were coming. I wonder what he would have thought. He was a young man in 1946 when he was discharged, returned home. Tempered by his war experience, he re-entered the classroom as a high school student, and he graduated. He graduated high school and went on to receive aircraft maintenance training. He was a pilot. He owned his own aircraft. He was a success in a world largely foreign to him. The newspaper reports of his death are telling. The report of the death of a young black man in southeast Michigan highlighted his military service, a sign of recognition. His funeral was attended by both the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars, a testimony to the man and their recognition of his service. In 1953, these organizations were not known to be especially welcome to African American veterans, but the newspaper accounts reported their participation, a sign of their respect, worthy of being publicly commented on. Think of what he lived through, experienced in his short life. What would the future have held for him if he had lived longer? Would he be proud today of the community that he would live in, of the country that he would live in? Would he be proud of the organizations that were present and paid respects to him and his service at his funeral? Would he be proud of his personal legacy? We hope so. Today, this community has joined together to publicly pay tribute to his service, to recognize the courage that he displayed as a young man in America in 1943 with no expectation of acceptance of his sacrifice. He and his fellow Tuskegee Airmen are true heroes of their generation. Heroes that were part of what we casually refer to as the greatest generation. Ladies and gentlemen, they were. We are a better country for their contributions today as we were then. Today we can only say thank you and make sure that future generations know of his service. I hope that we can show ourselves to be worthy of his service. Tamenund Dickerson, may you forever rest in the arms of our Lord. And Flight Officer Tamenund Dickerson, we salute you. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Walter. Next, I'd like to introduce John Mayton, who's president of the Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial, for his remarks today. Mr. Mayton.
Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial, it's my great honor and privilege to welcome you to this very special occasion as we dedicate a new plaque on a Michigan World War II historical trail right here in Wixom. honoring an American hero, a Michigan son, a trailblazer in the skies and in history, Tuskegee Airmen Tamenund Dickerson. I'd also like to recognize the contributions of VFW Auxiliary Post 2269, the Wixom Historical Society, and the City of Wixom for their hard work and efforts to make this plaque possible. Today, more than 80 years after the end of World War II, we remember more than battles and timelines. We remember people. People who stood up for when history called, many of whom had to fight more than one battle. The war overseas and the struggle for dignity, opportunity, and equality here at home. Tamenund Dickerson was one of them. Born with courage in his heart and a will to fly, Mr. Dickerson joined the elite ranks of the Tuskegee Airmen, the first African-American military aviators in the United States Army Air Forces. At a time when the doors of opportunity were closed to so many Black Americans, he broke through ceilings of prejudice with discipline, skill, and relentless excellence. He was not only a pilot, he was a pioneer. After the war, like so many of the Tuskegee Airmen, Mr. Dickerson returned home. Even though he was taken from us at the young age of 27, he helped to pave the way for generations who would come after, soldiers, pilots, engineers, leaders who would walk through doors that he helped open. I've had the privilege of talking with some of the other Tuskegee pilots, specifically Alex Jefferson and Harry Stewart. It was my honor to be able to talk with them several times. These were men of great character who also came back from the war and made a difference regardless of the obstacles that they faced. Whenever we talked about that, one of the first things they would always say is, we are first and foremost Americans, we had a job to do, and we went and did it. To the Dickerson family, thank you. Thank you for sharing Tamenund's story. Thank you for preserving his memory, and thank you for allowing us to honor of sharing it with the people of Michigan and beyond. As the president of the Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial, I pledge to continue this work, to not only remember what we fought against, but what we fought for, to honor not only the famous, but the forgotten, and to keep alive the spirit of sacrifice and unity that defined the greatest generation. The Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial, located in Memorial Park in Royal Oak, is the state's official tribute to World War II. We're currently working on phase 2 of the memorial, which will be dedicated later this year. Included in phase 2 is a full-size statue of Rosie the Riveter working on a B-24. We continue to raise money to complete the memorial, including a full-size bronze statue of a Tuskegee Airman. And at the reception, you'll be able to see inside a third-scale maquette of what that statue will look like. Remember the impact that the men and women of the greatest generation had on the world, not just during World War II, not just in the last 80 years, but also the legacy that they have left us to learn from into the future. We hope that the entire state will help us in this effort to finish our World War II memorial. Today, with the unveiling of this plaque, we do more than honor one man. We affirm the legacy of all those names who may not appear in our textbooks, but who shaped the destiny of this nation through courage, sacrifice, and service. Let this place in Wixom be a site of remembrance and reflection. Let every child who passes by learn that Michigan produced not only manufacturers of machines, but makers of history. Let every visitor understand the story of America's victory in World War II is richer, deeper, and more inclusive than we sometimes remember. We hope that other communities will join in recognizing their contributions to World War II and their legacy with additional plaques on the World War II Historic Trail. May this plaque stand as a lasting tribute. May Mr. Dickerson's name be forever etched in the conscience of our state, and may we never stop striving to be a nation worthy of such men. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Maiden. Next, I'm going to introduce our next speaker, who is Bill Wellborn, Chair, Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated, Detroit Chapter, for his remarks.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Bill Wellborn, Chief Master Sergeant Bill Wellborn, and I'm a member of Detroit. Golly, I'm trying to think of what I want to say. Detroit, Tuskegee Airmen, how I want to put that. Well, anyway, what I want to do is I want to introduce all our members. Stand up, please. Would you please stand up? Okay. Our president is Tony Stevenson. He's in the second row back there. And but first, I want to start out a different way. I want to start out how the Tuskegee Airmen really got started, began. After World War I, where we had members, black members, tried to join the Army Air Corps as a pilot. They were all refused. We had one guy that went to France, Eli Bullock. He went to France and joined as a pilot and became a war hero over there. So we don't know what the difference was. And we had Bessie Coleman. She was a pilot, one of the best around. Now, after World War, in the early 30s, the Pittsburgh Courier and Chicago Tribune started soliciting information, and they contacted President Roosevelt and asked him why we don't have any black fighter pilots. Later on, the Michigan Chronicle joined them, and two people, that A. Philip Randolph and a guy named Judge Hastings, that helped them to push the Tuskegee Airmen. In the meantime, at West Point, Benjamin Davis had been entered to West Point, and he was the only black in West Point. Now, he was ostracized for 4 years. That means nobody talked to him, nobody ate with him, nobody helped him with his homework or anything. He was destined to be the former commander of the Tuskegee Airmen. The Pittsburgh Courier was really the leader. They kept sending letters to President Roosevelt, asking him, what is the holdup? Why can't you have some black airmen? You got one man that's always proved himself overseas in France. In 1939, President Roosevelt signed an order saying that we're going to have black pilots. Okay, that's it for a while. They didn't do anything about it. In 1940, there was 13 guys, 1941, there's 13 guys was in the first class. Now, they had to go through Tuskegee Institute. It was Tuskegee Institute then, it wasn't Tuskegee University, for pre-flight training. They did that first, then they started the first class on 16 July 1942. 13 people started, only 5 graduated. A lot of people say, oh, there was prejudice, stuff like that. That wasn't the case. If you couldn't hack it, you were out. It's just that's the way it was. The first class, Benjamin Davis, he was in the first class. He came on to be the first general in the Air Force. In fact, the Tuskegee Airmen had four generals. Benjamin Davis, Chaffee James, Charles McGee, Theus. What's Theus' first name?
Lucius.
I forgot what Theus' first name is.
Lucius.
Okay. Those guys all made general. Now, we have one in Pennsylvania, in Boston. He's a general in the state of Massachusetts. When he leaves the state of Massachusetts, he has a rank of a major. Now, as things went along, the Tuskegee Airmen was supposed to fail. The program was supposed to fail. Everybody said they can't make it. In 1925, a proclamation came out from the Army War College, said that the black man was stupid, His brain was smaller than the white man. He would desert in a time of war, and a few other things. But that backfired, because when the Tuskegee Airmen got overseas and started to escort the bombers, and only 450 pilots went overseas that fought overseas during the war. The rest of the people stayed in the States, so it was just what they sent overseas, 450. Now these guys, when they got overseas, they had one thing to do: protect the bombers. So when you lose a bomber, you lose 10 men plus an aircraft. And the Tuskegee Airmen became so good at it, in fact, they only lost 28 bombers compared to everybody else. We lost over 800. It's a big difference. A lot of men was lost with 800 bombers being going down. They were told at that time by Colonel Davis, your job is to protect the aircraft and nothing else. There were 3 people that had 3 kills at one time. We just lost Colonel Harry Stewart. He was one of them. He lived in Bloomfield. I forgot something. The first thing about the Tuskegee Airmen, in 1972, Colonel Jefferson and a few other guys were having a thing over his house. They said, let's get together and start a chapter. All the chapters around the states, plus the Dominican Republic. There was guys from the Dominican Republic too. There was one Chinese guy that Harry Stewart flew with. So it wasn't just all black in there. There's a lot of other people that was considered Tuskegee Airmen. But the Tuskegee Airmen was so good at doing what they were supposed to do, that there's a guy that lives in Ypsilanti. He was a front gunner in a B-24. And he told me, he said, I felt like this. When I saw the Tuskegee Airmen, I knew I was sleeping in my bed tonight. That's how much they trusted these guys. These guys, they went all out. They didn't leave their bombers at all. They stayed with the bombers, what they're supposed to do. Now, in 1952, I think it was, they changed the name from the RedTails to Tuskegee Airmen. At first they were the RedTails because they painted their tails red. That's every squadron paint the tails a different color. Some are yellow, some are black, some are checkered, some are blues, all different colors. That's how you can tell these guys. But when everybody saw the RedTails, according to some guys I met in Minnesota, out in the middle of nowhere, these guys would tell us, we were out there for a week, these guys would tell us, when we saw the RedTails, we knew we were safe and that they wouldn't leave us. Another thing that happened to the Tuskegee Airmen, in Freeman, Indiana, that's where the bomber pilots trained at. And Coleman, everybody heard of Coleman Young. He was a navigator out there. They had an incident out there they called the Freeman Massacre, and Freeman Field Massacre. What it was, they had 2 officers' clubs, the white officer club and the black officer club. But the two different buildings was like day and night. The black officer club was just a shack. So these guys say, we're going to integrate this club. So they got together, they picked Coleman Young to set it up. And said, he set it up, and but the day it came for them to do this, he had extra duty, so he couldn't go. So Chaplain James took his place. And he went down to the officer club and walked in, and when he got in, they said, you guys not supposed to be here. But they used other names, you know. They said, you're not supposed to be here. This is our club. They said, we're all officers. We the same thing that you are. The colonel there, who was in charge of the base, said he wanted to court-martial all 100 guys. And he sent them to go back to your barracks. And on the way out, Lieutenant Roger Cherry accidentally brushed up against one of the NCOs standing there. So they made an example of him. They court-martialed him, put him out the service, and ruined his career. Later on, he went to law school, and he used to help Coleman Young on his campaign when he was running for mayor. But President Clinton later on, he reversed that. And that's just a few things that happened. Colonel Jefferson is one of our main Tuskegee Airmen. He was in a prison camp for 9 months. He was shot down on his 18th and a half mission, he calls it. So he was shot down and he was captured. He stayed in the prison camp for 9 months until General Patton come by to rescue them. And he was not too far from Dachau. Dachau is where they exterminated the Jews at. I'm trying to think of what else. There's a lot more that I could say, but you know, the Tuskegee Airmen, the way I put it, and I went to service in 1948, so I saw a lot of this. And they never got credit for anything. In 1949, July 16, 1949, we went to Vegas for a gunnery shootout. The Tuskegee Airmen, they won that hands down. They even beat the jet fighters. And when it come time to present the trophy disappeared for 50 some years before they found it. They found it right past an Air Force base in the basement. A lady, I just met her about a month ago.
Nellie Orr. Zellie Orr.
Illinois, yes. Eric and I, Captain Eric Farmer and I was down in St. Louis. We met her down there. She found the trophy. We got it back, and now we got a replica of it at the Charles H. Wright Museum down in Detroit, and the main one's down in D.C. Now these guys here, they never got any recognition. And when he got the trophy back, there's 4 people on the team. 2 of the guys had died. And the 2 that was living was Harry Stewart and James Harvey. James Harvey is still living. He's 103 years old. He's close to being 104. He's still living. And so he's still around. He's one of the few guys. But Flight Officer Dickerson never really got overseas. And it wasn't because he couldn't do the job. They just sent so many men over there. And the rest of the people, after they finished training, especially, he come in one of their last classes, and when they finished training, they stuck around to help other guys, teach them how to fly, and different things like that. We found, not too long ago, last year, we found another flight officer in the Dearborn Heights area. This guy is he just turned 100 years old. In fact, Tuskegee Airmen had a lot of longevity. Sergeant Preston Giles lived to be 105. He was 2 weeks from being 106 years old when he died. And we had a few more that lived to be 103. So that's just a little bit of the Tuskegee Airmen. It's hard to get up here and just tell the whole story. Try to think of it real fast. It's only got a certain length of time. But one thing I want you to know: the Tuskegee Airmen had 6 principles they went by, and they lived by this. It was aim high, believe in yourself, use your brain, never quit, always be ready, and always expect to win. And every time I give a speech, I always tell my people, If it wasn't for the Tuskegee Airmen doing what they did today, back then, we'll be speaking German today. Thank you.
Tuskegee Airmen Flight Officer Tamenund James Dickerson. VFW Chaplain Mike Magner, you will ask the divine blessing.
O thou Almighty God, thank you for allowing us to honor Tamenund James Dickerson today. Bless and comfort those who are left bereaved, and finally, O God, help us to increase our spiritual unity and love for all. In relevant humility, we ask thee blessings in your holy name. Amen.
Comrades, present, huh? And now, in the name of Lawrence A. Sims, Post 2269, Department of Michigan, Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States and its auxiliary, we dedicate this memorial plaque so all may see the names of Tamenund James Dickerson, who served in the fighting forces of our great nation. May his noble deeds live forever. Order, huh?
Please remain seated.
Captain of the Honor Guard, you will perform your duties.
Firing squad, perform your duties. Fire. Up. Ready to fire. Ready. Hey. Fire. Hey. Fire. Hey. Fire. Comrades, please stand. Comrades, team up. He's up. Arm. Order. Stand up. Eat. And get your seat.
This concludes our ceremony. Thank you all for coming. Master of Ceremonies, Wixom City Manager Steve Brown, deliver your final comments.
Thank you. Before I get to any final comments, I wanted to take the opportunity to introduce Eric Palmer of the Detroit RedTails, who brought a fantastic car for us to enjoy today, which is parked on Pontiac Trail. A few remarks from Mr. Palmer.
Yeah, I keep it short. I know the rain's coming. As mentioned, my name is Eric Palmer. As Bill mentioned earlier, I am a captain. I am a honorably discharged separated captain from the U.S. Army. I am president of Detroit RedTail, Inc. The vehicle that you see sitting there is a centerpiece of Detroit RedTail. I'm also a member, probably 20 years now, of the Detroit chapter of Tuskegee Airmen, where I hold the positions of public relations officer, and I also publish our newsletter called the Hawks Cry 2. The original newsletter at Tuskegee Army Airfield was called the Hawks Cry. In 2016 actually, we were having a meeting about having a unique vehicle to use in parades. We get a lot of invites from parades. We did not have anything. It dawned on me, I wanted to get back into a convertible, you know, like Jack Case say I'm a ragtop man. And it dawned on me the fact that I love Mustangs, even though I worked at General Motors. I started searching and looking for the right vehicle. I eventually found this car actually in Grand Rapids, which was a beautiful thing, a blessing. I developed a mock-up in PowerPoint of what I wanted to look like. At the time in our chapter, we had two living legends, combat pilots, Alexander Jefferson, who's honored on the driver's side, and Bill talked about Alex earlier, and Harry Stewart, who's honored on the driver's side. He also mentioned Harry earlier. In our meetings, those two typically sat behind me and we had a good time. So I turned to them and told them I wanted to do something to honor them while they were living. I couldn't afford an actual P-51 airplane, but the next best thing was, hey, grab a Mustang, mock it up to look like a RedTail P-51 Mustang, and honor the two of them on it. Originally, my intent was to just do parades with the chapter. Our president at the time gave me an invite to a car show. I went to the car show. People were enamored at the thought, the idea, and the introduction of the history and the recognition of military history. And it dawned on me, you know, typically we hear about the Tuskegee Airmen at air shows, at libraries, at events like this. We never hear about the Tuskegee Airmen at car shows. So my original motto was rolling the Tuskegee Airmen into the American car culture. In 2017, I started going to car shows, cruises, parades. I drove across Route 66. I did Tail of the Dragon out on the East Coast. I've done over 300 events with that car, introducing people to the Tuskegee Airmen who were not familiar with it. It gets a lot of thumbs up. I have been pulled over a number of times by police officers who just wanted to look at the car. So, yeah, I've got an interesting story about Eric, Oklahoma. My name is Eric. I'm in Eric, Oklahoma. The cop's name is Eric, and my buddy that was with me was named Eric. It was quite ironic. But to tell you a little bit about the car, as mentioned, on the driver's side, it's mocked up to look like Harry Stewart's plane, Little Coquette. On the passenger side, Alexander Jeffson, Margot, who was his girlfriend. Under the hood is their story, the pinnacle of their combat career. Inside the engine bay, across the front, the cowl is black aviation history, starting from Jacques Bullet and going throughout the 70s. On the battery box is, I want to say, the 477th Bombardment Group, which a lot of people don't realize existed. On the brake module box is the 1949 gunnery meet that Bill spoke of. I've got the car set up and arranged so that if I'm not around it and the person has the capacity to read, they can learn everything they need to about the Tuskegee Airmen. So again, its intent is to communicate the legacy, the history of the Tuskegee Airmen. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. I just wanted to wrap up our event today here with a few comments and mostly in the form of thank yous. I just want to thank everybody that's participated today. Eric's a tall guy. I'm going to have to bring this down a little bit. I want to thank the family of Tamenund J. Dickerson for their participation and being here today. I want to thank the Tuskegee Airmen membership that are here today to help us celebrate the VFW and the VFW Auxiliary and the Historical Society for them being here and making this event possible and making it happen. The Michigan World War II Legacy Memorial Group for starting the historic trail and allowing Wixom to be the second stop on that trail. And just everybody for an outstanding event today that I've really enjoyed, and I think everybody's really enjoyed. And I also want to say blessed that we managed to avoid the rain, and we appreciate that. We did get the tent if we needed it. I'm glad we did not. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for participating and making this event possible and recognizing Tuskegee Airman Flight Officer Tamenund J. Dickerson for his service during the war, and by doing so, honoring everybody that served during World War II and making us think about their sacrifices and their contributions to the life that we know today and all appreciate today. So I thank everybody for being a part of it. I want to say quickly that we have some light refreshments in the City Council chambers. To get there, you can exit towards the parking lot and take a right. And you can either enter through the City Hall entrance, which is the first door on the right, or you can enter at the police department through the second door on the right. You'll see some signs in there how to get into the council chambers and enjoy a little light refreshments that we are providing today. So thank you again, everybody. Outstanding event. Appreciate everybody's participation. I did. Oh, I did. I'll pick up for her, if you don't mind. So that's my fault. So one of the reasons that we were familiar with Tamenund James Dickerson's story is that he's buried in Wixom Cemetery. And we do want to point out that if you'd like to visit their gravesite and pay your respects today, that would be outstanding as well. I'm sure the family would love to see you do that. It's on Wixom Road to the north. You'll see the cemetery on the left. And we have some bunting on the fence line there that'll be marking the general location of where Tamenund James Dickerson's burial site is. So if you would like to visit that, I think that would be an outstanding idea as well. And I appreciate Pam Young for picking me up on that. But again, thank you for everybody for your participation. Outstanding event, and refreshments are at City Hall if you care to join us. Thank you. Yeah, if we can have family members come up and take a picture here with the plaque, we'd love to have you do that as well, for your own purposes and for everybody's purposes here, to make sure we commemorate this and keep track of the pictures here. Thank you.
How you doing?
All right, how you doing today?
I didn't get to meet you yet. I'm Lori Dorchek. You're part of the family. We're going to have you just get in back a boulder. Okay.
Excuse me.
Oops, sorry. I noticed you filming. Is it possible for you to email it to me?
Yeah, reach out to me. Hopefully you can remember this email address, DetroitRedTail@gmail.com.
Detroit RedTail at Gmail. I think I can remember that.
Yep. All righty. Righty.
Hello.
All right, how are you today?
Good. I'm Mr. Bishop from the Michigan Veteran Foundation.
Oh yes, nice to meet you.
You came into our car show last year.
Yes.
And I was searching for your number. I couldn't find that.
Yeah. It's our website, DetroitRedTail.org.
Okay.
And there's an info there. All right.
Car coming up.
Okay.
August 10 at Shield, like
Oh
last
yeah,
year.
at Shield. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty.
So
I'll try to make that. I've got a cruise coming up around that same time.
Okay.
I got to check my
Usually we
calendar.
do ours before the Woodward Dream Cruise.
Yes.
It's the week before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll work. All righty.
Okay.
All righty.
Nice seeing you.
Nice seeing you again
I'm so
too.
glad that they were able to locate your
Oh yeah.
vehicles.
Yeah.
The president of the American Legion, I'm sorry, VFW, she reached out. She said, can you get me the contact of the person who had the Tuskegee Airmen vehicle? And I went through all my paper. I couldn't identify which one.
One thing people could do also is just Google Tuskegee Airmen tribute car.
Okay.
And it will come up.
Okay.
It will come. Oh wow, I'm missing this picture. Uh-oh. Let me see if I
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Beautiful ceremony.
Oh, yes, it is.
Beautiful.
I think I got some customers over here. Let me go. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, doing great.
So one thing I failed to mention, you know, when it comes to the Ford Mustang, even on Ford Motor Company's media site, a guy named, God, his name's on the tip of my tongue, said that the production Mustang was named after the P-51 Mustang. That's not true. The production Mustang went through the typical naming convention as any other vehicle. The prototype Mustang, I've got a small model of it, actually it's back in my garage. If you guys have ever been to the Henry Ford Museum, and there is a white Mustang 2 two-seater with a bar in the back, white with two blue stripes. That was a prototype for the Mustang. That was named specifically after the P-51 Mustang because Ford was trying to garner the interest of fighter pilots. You know, people like to drive like to fly fast. But when it came to the production Mustang, it went through its normal naming cycle, and some of the names that they threw out there actually became names of Ford vehicles. One thing that kind of pushed the name Mustang towards this car was there was a wood model maker in the shop. On his off time, he was carving that galloping Mustang, and one thing led to another, and so, you know, let's go with Mustang. So that's how the production Mustang actually got its name.
What year is that?
This is a 2011.
2011.
2011 3.7 V6.
Trying to get a couple of the pictures with the Tuskegees.
Okay,
would you be able to?
Oh yes,
Sorry
yes.
to bother you,
Oh, it's no problem. Oh, on my way. I shall be back.
Vicky. Come on, Vicky and Scarlett. Come on, right here. Right your bed. Get it back. Vicky, get in there. I hope it's education. Yeah.
Gary Peters? Outstanding. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Owner of the car? Well, she don't live here anymore.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's a smart idea.
Now I gotta ask you, were you actually going there? Yeah, it's not good. I'm like, look, so effortless.
Oh, I didn't know if it was,
yeah, let me open the door.
Yeah.
I'll show you some interesting things about inside.
Okay.
Let's go in the back. When I got patches there on that center of the seat that are segregated units from World War II. I mean World War I, I'm sorry, World War I going into World War II. At the top is the triple nickel. My fifth cousin, a guy by the name of, how come I can't remember his name sometimes? My television.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, but my fifth cousin was one of the first 16 of the triple nickels, Roger Stanley Walden.
Okay.
You've got the Buffalo Soldiers from World War I. You got the original Black Panthers, the 761st Tank Battalion. from World War II. There was another tank battalion that actually Jackie Robinson was a member of. But then they transferred him to they transferred him from the 761st to that other. The Harlem Hellfighters is that blue helmet, and that blue helmet was their unit crest because the French, their combat units were blue helmets.
Oh, you
And
threw that in
yeah, I
there.
threw.
Okay.
And since they were helping the French in the infantry combat, they gave them blue helmets and they made them honorary French infantrymen. The U.S. didn't. Yeah, they should have. They should have. That's a good point.
This is very well represented.
Yeah. You guys are part of the family?
We are.
Okay, cool. Okay, that's right. You mentioned that earlier. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. People.
We have heard the story before, but not.
Oh, they gave you one of the Yeah, people always ask me what's my connection, and my mother's uncle, he joined the Air Force in '48. He joined maybe a couple of months after Bill joined. So Bill missed the cut for being a Tuskegee Airman, and my great uncle missed the cut.
And of course you've been to Tuskegee.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Oh yeah. I've been down there to the university. Did she make it? Did she
make it?
Okay. Well, is she going to be down there for the rest of the class? That's every weekend. Yeah, they invited me down for the radio class. They have a fun fest. Meet outside the stadium. Oh yeah.
So this is his educational tool. So when for parades or when he goes to different schools,
I drive that.
people see this and then he gets to answer all the questions.
Periodically, and they don't necessarily stop me on.
Now, like it says here, Margot was Colonel Jefferson's girlfriend. You know how pilots always put their name, their girlfriend or their mamas or somebody's name on top. He put Margot on his thing. So Margot was his girlfriend at that time.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing. And you know, after my son retired, he had a special made Mustang gun. He's a speedster.
We got this gentleman right here. His real name was Eugene Ballard. He wanted to be a pilot in 1970. Of course, over here they wouldn't let him fly. He went to France, got his pilot's license in France, came back, moved to Canada, fought with the Canadians to get his to fly. He was the first black pilot. Eugene Ballard. Bessie Coleman, she also wanted to fly. She had to go to France.
But I gave my license.
I remember the movie. Everybody wanted to buddy here.
You can see, like, you know, things
I remember that. I remember all that.
Well, like Eric said, they had one job. Their job was to protect the farm.
Because we do.
They never lost a point, but they did. They did.
Yeah.
They didn't lose as a men.
Said a 50, whatever, I don't.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Amazing.
That's a lot.
Amazing.
So this is his pride and joy.
Very nice. That is very nice.
Oh, thank you.
I was telling him my son retired from the Air Force 30 years, and when he retired, he got him a special made Mustang. Not like this.
Okay.
But he got him a.
I heard you guys are leaving.
Yeah, I gotta go see Nelson.
I know. I love you. I haven't seen you so long.
Same here.
I know. You gotta change the bit.
Mr. Ed, right?
Yeah.
My name is Hanif, and Tamenund, he was my uncle.
Alrighty, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I really like the car. I was gonna take a couple quick pictures.
Go for it. Go for it.
I'm heading in, sir.
Alrighty.
Okay.
I'm surprised Bill hasn't worked on you guys trying to recruit you for the chapter.
That's right.
He's the chapter president.
Honey,
and what's your name, sir?
let me give you my card.
I appreciate it.
Because I'm the president of the
30
chapter.
years.
I ain't would have loved this.
He
And
was
we'd like to
so
have you all
excited
as a
when he come
member
to this
of the
ceremony.
Mhm.
He's in Maryland now.
Who the, okay.
My son who,
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay,
like
okay.
30 years. He served all over the place. He
Oh,
was
wow.
everywhere.
Very nice vehicle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
I see you
What's the business
support the
that you're
Red Tail Squadron. Yeah, see that they can afford an actual airplane. They've got the financial backing, but you know, yeah. I've got several pictures of the car with the plane over the years. 2017 is when I got it. And, you know,
Pleased to meet you, sir.
And he doesn't tell everybody he's a certified teacher as well.
Certified teacher.
Their
Excellent.
event that they had
Very pleased to meet you. Thank you.
in Atlanta in
Anything
2017
you need,
was the first
about
time I
joining the
actually
chapter,
met
just any
up
questions,
with
period.
them.
My phone number and emails on there, okay?
Thank you. But yeah,
You
we've
bet.
got
Thank
Black
you, sir.
Aviation History
Nice
across
to see
the
you,
front.
Same.
The gunnery meet, the 1949 gunnery meet, Harry Stewart, James Harvey, Alva Temple were the three primary pilots. The 332nd Fighter Group was still segregated at the time. The order to desegregate the military went in May of '48, but the final desegregated unit existed until July of '49. This competition was May of '49, so they were still segregated. And Harry tells the story that when Benjamin O'Day, they had an internal competition amongst themselves to see who the top 3 or 4 were going to be. And it just happened to be Harry, James, Alva, and then Halbert Alexander as an alternate. And Harry says that he told those guys, if you don't win, don't come back. He told them flat out, just like in war. Yeah. He told them, if you decide to go off, you know, chasing the Germans and not protecting those bombers, then keep on going, don't come back. He was serious, he was strict, he was stern, but, you know, with that, I'm quite sure he was serious. He wasn't joking. With the don't come back if they don't win, the competition, kind of joking. But the competition was 12 fighter groups. There were 7 conventional groups, which were the propeller planes. There were 5 jet class. They didn't compete against each other. There were 2 bombing exercises that the jets couldn't do. But after it was all said and done, the top scoring fighter group out of all 12 of them, even if the jet class could do those 2 bombing exercises and maxed out, they still would not have scored as many points as the 332nd. Wow. In 25, as Bill was talking about, the War College did a study. Basically, I like to clown people and tell it was similar to the Mueller report, where this study was actually 63 pages. It studied the performance of African Americans all the way back to the Revolutionary War, and it recognized all our successes. It recognized them. But Major General Eli, when he summarized it in 2 pages, just like what was the Attorney General's name? He summarized the total opposite of what the report actually said. And
Can I just
he said
interrupt
that,
one moment?
Yeah.
You're going to go back in there?
I am.
You're going to go in? Good, because I have a couple people want to talk to you.
All righty,
Thank you.
all
I'm
right,
sorry.
sounds
I'm
good,
so
sounds
sorry.
good.
We gotta go.
Yeah, you know, basically he's.
Exception.
Thank you, appreciate it. But that 1925, that summary basically said that we were inferior, we couldn't operate complex machinery, the whole 9 yards. After World War II was over, and what these guys did, and what the 761st Tank Battalion did, that report became instant toilet paper. Instant toilet paper. But so when they went out there in 1949, people didn't expect what happened, and their competition was even cheating. Alva Temple was number 2 in scoring amongst individual pilots. He was supposed to be number 1, but the guy that got number 1, he had some mechanical issues on one of the runs, and the rules were if you got mechanical issues, you were done. They let him come back, fix his mechanical issues, and load back up on ammo. So, you know, they were not going to let him take that first place. But, you know, it is what it is. An example that if you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. That's right. It don't make a difference what race, creed, color you are.
If you got the drive.
Yeah. Yep.
The drive and the attitude, that makes the difference.
All righty, I'll see you guys inside.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful Mustang.
Thank you, appreciate it.